Hey guys, thanks for joining my channel, and I wanted to invite you to see how I began my language journey, my language learning journey. So, probably like most people, I began learning languages in high school. I took Spanish and I really didn't learn too much, actually nothing basically in high school. And then from there in college, I studied for one semester. I took Chinese, which I felt pretty good about because, Chinese for Americans is pretty difficult. So it was very fascinating, and I felt like I learned a little bit more than I had learned Spanish in high school. But anyways, I still kind of gave up for the longest time on my abilities to learn languages, and I felt like it was not possible. And then about a year and a half ago, I ran across a video from a man named Benny the Irish Polyglot. And that guy really gave me the confidence to start learning languages. So, for example, I'm 35 and I started in my 30s learning languages about a year and a half ago after seeing Benny's video. And so I watched many videos of his that showed him speaking different languages and kind of also giving a conference about how he got started speaking or learning different languages. And so for me, this was very exciting, and I felt that it was a great possibility that I could learn as well. And so I began learning about a year and a half ago. Uh, First, I started basically studying Spanish, and basically all my energy has gone more towards learning Spanish for about a year and a half or so. So my primary focus has been on learning the Spanish language, but I have given a little bit of focus to Chinese as well, and I've actually learned quite a bit over about 3 months' time, give or take. And then also I know just a little bit in Portuguese and French, but it's only like little phrases, like nothing much, nothing to be, too excited over, but I think it's cool. And basically the reason why I started studying a couple other different languages was just to kind of mix things up and trick my brain a little bit and make things more interesting, and to give me a break from the constant bombardment of espanol in my mind. So basically, I started studying Spanish, and the approach I took to it was initially I studied for about 30 minutes to an hour a day for the longest time, for probably about 4 or 5 months. And then I started studying about an hour and a half a day. And then now I study for about 4 hours to 5 hours a day. I try to make it a big part of my day. And so for the longest time, I've done many different things, such as listening to music in Spanish, watching movies in Spanish, although sometimes the movies can be difficult because they speak very quickly in Spanish. So that has not been a big part of my language learning process. I'd say more of my language learning process has come from a little bit from books, because I think pronunciation is very important. I try to focus on that. Although I'm not probably one of the best, my pronunciation I feel is pretty damn good. So the next thing is I listen to, again, a lot of music. I cannot emphasize that enough because the music makes it more fun and gets you more enthusiastic about learning the language and teaches you a little bit about the culture too. And next, the next thing that I used was I started watching some Spanish podcasts on YouTube that I would listen to in my car every single day, because I drive a lot. I'm actually a real estate agent. I sell houses. So this gave me the opportunity to constantly listen to Spanish over and over again in my car. And so one of the primary podcasts I listen to is called Maria Espanol, and I've listened to almost all of her videos because she breaks it down. My screen just went out. she breaks down her videos very well into the different levels as to, I think it's called the CEFR, CEFR. I may be wrong about that, but it's for basically testing to know your placement in a language, your proficiency. And so it goes A1, A2 for beginner, B1, B2 for intermediate, and then C1, C2 for advanced level. And so with the Maria Espanol, you can literally type in Maria Espanol A1 or A2, etc., etc. And basically, I use this every day to help me progress. It helped me out tremendously. And I felt it was a little bit better than watching TV with subtitles and stuff of that nature because she was teaching it and also had students in her classroom, so it was able to give me the opportunity to see their mistakes and their questions and kind of open my mind to a different way of thought from other people of how they're learning as well. And so it turned out to be very helpful for me. The only negative would be, if you could say any negative, was that hers is a more formal Spanish from Spain, Castellano. And for me, I live in Texas, so the primary Spanish here is from South America, and so even another facet that I used a little bit later was a site called Burbling. Burbling is an awesome site where you can hire teachers to practice with and to learn. And initially, I made the mistake, right or wrong, I made the mistake of, not a mistake, I don't want to say that, but I made the decision to pay for teachers that were from Spain. I wasn't really, what would you say, trying to choose where they were from so much, but I quickly learned that theirs is more of the like vosotros y cosas así, very, very formal way of speaking Spanish, which is a lot different than the way people in my city speak because most of them are from South America. And South America is not, I guess, the Castellano or more formal way of speaking. It's a lot different. So from then on, I began paying for teachers that were from anywhere in South America. I tried to stick to Mexico, but also like Guatemala, Venezuela, and places like this, in Colombia too. And then what else? Sorry, I know I probably dumped a lot of information on you, but the next thing that I used is a tool called WhatsApp and HelloTalk are both incredible apps to use for your phone for language learning because you can communicate with people from different countries for free, completely for free. And HelloTalk actually allows you to translate what that person has said, whether they speak it or whether they write it. And then the next thing that I would highly recommend is Duolingo. Duolingo was actually one of the first apps I started out with that was absolutely incredible, a great asset for my language learning process because it's like I tell people, Duolingo is basically the free version of Rosetta Stone. And it's a great, great tool to have in your arsenal for language learning. So anyways, guys, to wrap things up, to give you an idea, I didn't think it was possible to learn the languages anymore, and I came across Benny the Irish Polyglot about a year and a half ago, give or take, and it gave me the confidence to see and to see the polyglot. They're called polyglots, people that speak 3 or more languages, I believe. But it gave me the confidence to see that this is possible to achieve something like that. And so, like I said, I'm 35 years old, and this, you're not supposed to be able to learn languages, is what you're told. It's complete rubbish or bullshit. That you are able to learn whatever you put your mind to, and that's kind of what I want to get across. So my focus, my pastime for about a year and a half has been learning languages because it's exciting, it's fun, and also it's something that I want to pass on to my son and show him that everything is possible, that there are no limits to what you can achieve. Even when people say you're too old to accomplish something, you're never too old. There's always opportunity for you. You just have to go after it, and don't listen to anyone that has any negative input. Just go after what you want in life. And so I hope that this gives you some motivation, And in some following videos, I'm going to post, first of all, me speaking Spanish. Like I said, I can speak pretty well, and now I can understand a great deal. I'd say about 80% of the language, give or take. I still have a long ways to go, but I feel like in a couple years I'll be very proficient in Spanish. And then I'll post some other videos, probably just of Chinese, because that's the next language I know the most of, although it's only beginner level. So, anyways, I hope this inspires you. I hope this gives you some motivation, and let me know below in some comments if you like this video, if you hate it, if there's anything that you want to recommend to me. I'm always open to suggestions from other people. So have a great day or night or wherever you are, and best of luck to you. Talk to you later.